Imagine you're Elon Musk. You want to send a rocket to Mars, but the cost is astronomical. What do? Picture that for a moment. You're at the helm of SpaceX, and your dream of making humans a multiplanetary species seems out of reach due to the exorbitant cost of rockets. This was the dilemma faced by Elon Musk. But instead of accepting defeat, he turned to a powerful problem-solving tool, the first principles method. This method, as old as Aristotle himself, is a strategy of reasoning that has been used by great minds throughout history. At its core, the first principles method is about breaking down complex problems into their most basic, self-evident truths. It involves peeling back the layers of an issue, much like peeling an onion, to get to the core assumptions. The goal is to strip away all the preconceived notions and conventional wisdom that often cloud our judgment and hinder innovative thinking. Now let's apply this to our Elon Musk scenario. Instead of accepting the high cost of rockets as a given, Musk questioned the underlying assumptions. He challenged the status quo and asked, why are rockets expensive? By doing so, he was able to identify the core components of a rocket and their individual costs. He discovered that the raw materials needed to build a rocket were only a fraction of the selling price. This revelation was a game changer. It meant that rockets could be built more affordably. This is the power of the first principles method. It encourages us to question everything, to dig deeper, and to challenge the why behind the what. It's about finding the fundamental truths that underpin a problem and using them as the building blocks for innovative solutions. It's not about accepting things as they are, but about understanding why they are the way they are and exploring how they could be different. So, Elon Musk didn't simply accept the high cost of rockets. He used the first principles method to revolutionize space travel. And if it can work for Musk, imagine what it could do for you. So buckle up, because we're just getting started on this cognitive journey of discovery. So how do you apply this first principles method? How do you break down a problem to its bare bones? You may wonder. Well, let's delve into it. The first principles method isn't some mystical technique shrouded in secrecy. Rather, it's a clear, systematic approach to problem solving that anybody can use. The method involves 3 fundamental steps: questioning assumptions, dissecting problems, and finding fundamental truths. First, we start with identifying, breaking down, and questioning assumptions. It's about challenging the status quo, the things we take for granted. What do you believe to be true? Challenge these beliefs to see if they hold up. Let's take a simple example, like the assumption that we need to boil water to make tea. But what if we're stuck on a desert island without a kettle or fire? This is where questioning the assumption comes into play. We might find alternatives like sun heating the water or using certain types of rocks to heat it up. Next, we dissect the problem, break it down into smaller, manageable parts. Let's say you're trying to build a house. The problem of building a house is quite large and overwhelming. But when you break it down into smaller tasks, like designing the floor plan, sourcing materials, and constructing the framework, the problem becomes less daunting. Then, we aim to find the fundamental truths. These are the unshakable facts that underpin everything else. For instance, in our house building scenario, a fundamental truth could be that a house needs a solid foundation to stand. No matter what design you choose or materials you use, this fact remains constant. Finally, by utilizing these fundamental truths, we can thoroughly investigate various pathways and innovative solutions, ultimately leading to transformative outcomes. Through this comprehensive exploration, we can challenge conventional thinking, embrace creativity, and pave the way for groundbreaking advancements in our approach. The first principles method is all about peeling back the layers, like an onion, to reveal the core of the problem. It's about not just accepting things as they are, but questioning why they are that way and how they could be different. And guess what? This method doesn't just apply to boiling water or building houses. It can be used for your personal goals, business strategies, and even life philosophy. By questioning the norm and digging deeper, you can uncover a whole new way of thinking. And that, my friends, is the beauty and power of the first principles method. The world tells us to think in analogies, to follow the tried and true. But what if the tried and true isn't true enough? Conventional thinking, or analogy-based thinking, is like running on well-trodden paths. It's familiar and feels safe because we're essentially following the footsteps of those who came before us. It's like saying, this is how it's always been done, so this is how we'll continue to do it. But while this approach can be useful in certain contexts, it can also limit our perspective and hinder innovation. You see, when we rely too heavily on analogies, we're essentially borrowing someone else's lens to view the world. We're adopting their assumptions, their limitations, and their conclusions. This can lead us to overlook possibilities that lie outside these predefined boundaries. Now let's contrast this with the first principles method, a reasoning approach that invites us to strip away these layers of borrowed thinking. Instead of accepting things at face value, it encourages us to question everything, to dig deeper and uncover the fundamental truths or first principles that underpin a situation or concept. It's like saying, why has it always been done this way? Could there be a better way? This approach allows us to break free from the constraints of conventional thinking. It opens up a world of possibilities by enabling us to see the world in a new light, to question established norms, and to challenge the status quo. By using the first principles method, we can overcome the limitations of analogy-based thinking. We can tap into our innate creativity and develop innovative solutions that wouldn't be possible within the confines of conventional thinking. But remember, the first principles method isn't a magic bullet. It requires patience, curiosity, and a willingness to challenge our own assumptions. It can be uncomfortable and even daunting at times, but the rewards can be immense. The first principles method isn't about accepting the world as it is, but about understanding it at its core. It's about seeking truth, fostering innovation, and ultimately creating a better world. Now it's your turn. You've learned about the first principles method and its transformative potential. It's time to put it to work in your own life. Use it to tackle complex problems or even to make everyday decisions more thoughtfully. Don't just accept things as they are, question them. Seek to understand why they are. This is the essence of thinking in first principles. Remember, the path to innovation isn't always through acceptance, but through questioning and understanding. So dare to think differently, dare to think in first principles.